Hey, it's the podcast guy.
Sutton United talked on podcast. It's the Sutton Podcast.
And there it is! Sutton United at the GM Vauxhall Conference have put out First Division Coventry City, winners of the FA Cup themselves less than 2 years ago. And what a moment to enjoy for the fans of this Surrey side. They've had their moments before, but never one like this. But the whistle goes down. Delight for Sutton United. Sutton United from the National League are through to the last 16 of the FA Cup. No longer English football's perennial non-league club. A 123-year crescendo reaches a new peak for Sutton United, who are promoted to the Football League for the first time.
Hello and welcome to another episode of Sutton Podcast in association with Lucky Star Gin. If you're a regular listener, thank you very, very much. Welcome back. If you're a new listener, you're very, very welcome. I'm your host, Mike, and with me today we have Johnnie and Nick. There was no podcast last week because I had a Christmas event at work, and I thought I'm not rushing back to talk about a 4-1 loss away with someone getting sent off, so we'll skip it for a week. And very kindly, the team has helped me out by giving us a repeat of a 4-1 loss and a red card. So that's nice. Thanks, guys. We do love hearing from you. Join the conversations. Give us the thumbs up, the comments, the all the likes and all the rest of it on social medias at Sutton Podcast. You know I love it and it boosts my ego. Nick, how are you?
All things considered, I'm well, Mike. Thanks. Yeah.
Very good. Very good. And Johnnie, how are you?
Yeah, it could be worse. It wasn't ideal having to be up in the office this morning, but after yesterday. But yeah, we're still here, still going, so can't complain.
Birmingham for early doors, 4-1 loss all the way home, and then you had to get up and go to work this morning.
Yeah, what a weekend, eh?
Yeah, I'm interested to know what the worst could be, but I don't feel like we're going to bring the mood down, so we won't do that. Let's get straight into it. Johnnie, you've had a week of it. With a couple of weeks now, 2 cup exits. The first one wasn't that bad in hindsight. Second one was a bit worse, and then yesterday. What was your thoughts and hopes going into yesterday? And was there any sort of surprises in the lineup or not in the lineup?
I don't think we've really got much choice, really, the players we've got fit. I mean, I was surprised to see Jack Taylor drop out, but he obviously wasn't fit or he'd have come on at some stage. So we've probably picked an 11. It's an 11 that pretty much picks itself with the players that we have available. I don't think we'll be able to put any surprises in the Aldershot game. It will just be who we can get back playing, which 11 players can we find to go out on the pitch. I mean, I think that's one of the problems we have at the minute is squad depth. Which I'm sure I'll be able to rant on about a few problems, but I just don't think we've got enough backup in the squad at the moment. So yeah, I suppose I wasn't really surprised that it's the only fit 11 we could find, and then hopefully we can get some players back, but obviously more suspension problem now. It's I can't imagine there'll be too much decision making for Aggie before Aldershot. It's like who have we got available? It's like me running a 7-a-side team on my Wednesday evenings, Mike. It's literally who can we get in a group chat that's around, and that's your team.
Yeah, mute those notifications, otherwise you see the blue tick and they know you've seen it. Nick, what about yourself? What were your expectations going into the game? Did you have any surprises in the lineup?
No, I mean, yeah, Jack Taylor was a notable absentee. I mean, I wasn't aware that he'd injured himself or the week prior or something, but that seemed a slightly surprising one, a slightly odd one. I'd assume that he would come straight back in the team because, of course, there's a big hole now in the defence come Boxing Day. Brandon was on the bench. I assume that's just a numbers thing because he just needed maybe his injury is still plaguing him. But so yeah, it did seem a little bit threadbare, unrecognisable. Obviously, 2 new players straight in. I mean, I'd be curious to know actually how much how long have they? Because the announcements get made the day prior usually when we brought a new player in. Have they been brought in that very day, or have they been with the team all week? In which case, they're getting to know one another on the bus to the game. In which case, I would have thought so. So yeah. Given that, I mean, given that there is a bit of a lengthy injury list, it wasn't a bad first 40 odd or so minutes, but yeah, it was like like has been said, a sort of 7-a-side, who's around kind of thing.
Yeah, you saying that meeting them on the bus, Johnny, I don't know if you can remember who, but there was definitely a story in Doz's days of a player being picked up on the
You're
motorway.
thinking of Ben Wyatt on the way to Yeovil with
Yeah.
Matt Gray. Yeah. He turned out all right. So.
Yeah, he did. Yeah. Literally, we'd signed him and picked him up on the way to the match. So yeah, it can work. Nick, you've already mentioned it. It's Taylor two halves. We'll talk about the first half first.
Yeah.
I watched it on TV, same as yourself. We looked all right. We looked good. We were passing the ball around well. We were first to everything. I thought we were doing quite well. We looked quite dangerous, and we had quite a few chances. How did you feel about the first half?
Well, I mean, I actually saw the fix. I was over, and I saw the game back in August, I think it was. So we got to the end of the first half, and I thought, is neither of these teams? This has got like 0-0. Neither of these teams wants to score. Basically, I thought it's going to be 180 odd minutes. I thought that it was very cagey. I thought we had the better of the first half. The new player that we brought in up front, David, he had, I thought, the clearest chance, or one of the clearer chances, and I thought we edged it. I thought we looked really good, and it did look like we were playing against Shrewsbury when we were sort of spraying it around, and I thought, oh, good, this is we picked up where we left off there. But it did feel like a 0-0 at the end of the first half. Well, because it was 0-0. But I thought there's not going to be any goals in this game, which I probably would have been fine with, given what we just come off of the back of. But and also I thought to myself, how is Solihull where they are in the league? I mean, they've got they just didn't have that much to offer, I thought, as well. Considering they were playing at home, they tied, I think, recently with Forest Green. So I was.
That could be that we were making them look ordinary in that half.
Absolutely, yeah.
I have to admit, I was cursing one of the commentators because they did say on about 35 minutes something like the last 3 games for these two sides have been 0-0 draws or something like that. Yeah. Cheers, mate. Thanks for that. Johnny, what about yourself? You were there. How did it feel in the ground? Did it feel we were in control? Did it feel we were doing all right in that game, or were you literally panicking every time they crossed the half?
It was more when we had the ball in our own half that most of our problems came from. I think we were all right in the first half. I didn't think we were excellent. As Chris said, we were in his interview. I think it was pretty even. I thought it was quite a good game, to be honest. Jack Sims made a few good saves, again, mostly from us causing ourselves problems, to be honest. Their keeper made a few saves. David had a couple of headers, which I think he put both over the bar where he might have felt he could have done better. So either team could have been ahead at half time. I think the draw was probably about fair at that point. Look, there was no sign of the impending disaster of the second half, really. I mean, it was a perfectly good half away from home. Certainly no complaints about the first half.
Yeah, one of his chances, I think, just came to him, and he had quite a bit more space than I think he realised. And I think it was one of those that you snatched it and then was like, oh God, I had more time. But you can't really complain, as we said. He's only been with us a few days.
Yeah, it might have been on his less favoured foot. I think it was on his left. Maybe he's right-footed. I don't. Yeah.
But Johnny will open the scoring, and I mean, again, the way it was said on commentary when you're watching it, you're like, it's not quite as thunderous strike as you're claiming there, but a great goal and set us up for a perfect sort of smash and grab away victory. How were you feeling when we took that lead? 50th minute or just before the 50th?
Yeah, just after half time. It was a goalkeeping mistake, if we're honest, or defensive error, whichever way, whoever you want to blame. It was the defender sort of left the ball when he could have blocked it. The keeper thought the defender would have blocked it and let it go straight through him. It's a pretty awful mistake, whoever you blame for it, but we take it. I would like to have seen us maybe have a bit of a plan B from there. You've got a lead, don't give anything away easy. Stay in control of the game, keep things tight. We looked to stay in control of the game. We always looked to play on the front foot, but we didn't keep things tight, which and then we seem to have this problem at the minute, letting one goal. You let in two, you let in three. So Yellen was in the bar at half time, obviously, and missed our goal, obviously. But in the time he was walking around, I saw him come out the bar. We were 1-0 up. By the time we got to behind the goal where we were stood, we were 2-1 down. I mean, it was 2 goals in a minute, probably, which is you need to take the sting out of a game when that happens. And we don't seem to have the ability to do that. We don't have the mentality to do that. We just approach everything the same way. It's for the cricket fans out there. It's the same criticism England are getting at the minute. It's you cannot. They don't adapt. They have this way they want to play. They have an ethos or a sort of mentality, and there's no step back from that. So what's our plan B? Do we have it's difficult at the minute with the players we have, but if Njoku's fit, can we play Njoku up front, stick Njoku up front, put balls over the top, put balls in the channels for him or Rob Bonner to chase? Can we go change the shape, change the formation, keep things tight? Can we just stop messing around with the ball at our own penalty area for 5 minutes? I'm not against that, the strategy as a whole, but there's a time and a place. That wasn't the time or the place after we just conceded, or really after we just scored. So that was the frustration for me. We sort of played ourselves into problems again for the 3rd week in a row, really. So not against it being something we go to most of the time, but we need a plan B, and we don't seem to have that at the minute, I don't think.
Yeah, I've got a theory on what we've changed, but I'll come back to you in a second. Nick, how were you feeling at sort of 1-0 and then the collapse as Johnny sort of just spoke about with the goals, boom, boom, boom?
I thought to myself, actually, when we went 1-0 up, I had a feeling of dread, because we've been in. It's almost like the worst thing we can do for ourselves is to score a goal, because it then sort of opens the floodgates. A la Wealdstone, was it Hartlepool? We were 2-1 up, I thought, and then they got it back to 3-2. So I thought that we'd got out of our system, or the collective system, this kind of panicking when we've got a lead, letting them back into the game, which we saw, because Eastleigh, Halifax, those were both games where we took a 2-goal lead, and then we hung on. Whereas in the past, we've gone 1-0 up or gone a couple of goals up and surrendered the lead before. And so this was more of that. I thought, wow. And I don't know. I think Aggie mentioned it in his post-match interview that we've got to get better. Maybe this is what Jake Taylor, who notably wasn't there yesterday, does really well, which is that he knows the tricks to slow the game down, to sort of take the sting out of the game. Can Jack Sims just suddenly go down because of his ankles, like 2-3 minutes after we score, maybe?
Well, that's the thing that I was going to say was missing, because that was happening quite frequently in November. We score and Jack was blighted with his terrible injury. I think it happened to Tommy as well a couple of times, but I don't think that happened. So I don't think it happened against Shrewsbury, and I wasn't at Walton, but I don't think it happened at Walton, and I don't think it definitely didn't happen yesterday. But that's where we had previously taken a sting. Maybe we've received a warning. Who knows? But do you think that's what we need, Johnny? That obvious.
Yeah, I'm not going to advocate for us doing that, but it's something to the effect of just take the sting out of the game. It might be take a bit long. I mean, you see Solihull did it as soon as they went 2-1 up or 3-1 up, because there wasn't much time in between the goals, taking longer over the goal kicks, longer over the throw-ins. You know, I remember absolutely losing my head at one of the home games recently where we were 2-1 up and we took a quick free kick and added time at the end of the season. We're 2-1 up. Just what are you doing? You could take 2 minutes over that free kick, put it towards the corner, and you've killed half what was left of the game. And we don't seem to have that switch in us. We're trying to do everything too quickly, rushing everything. It could be as simple as put a ball in the channel and get the ball up the other end of the pitch, away from your goal. And we just can't seem to do that. So like the time wasting thing, like it works. Every team does it. They'll put something in the laws to stop you doing that pretty soon, I would have thought. So you can't rely on it. But yeah, we need to have that out, that sort of little get out thing that we can do, whatever it is. And we don't have it. We certainly didn't have it yesterday. That's for sure.
And the other thing that has been happening in the last 3 games is lots of red cards. So it's 4 in the last 3 games. Johnny, do you feel we've suddenly got into a dirty side, or do you feel we've been unlucky?
No, we've definitely not been unlucky. This is the thing that I rant the most about, and I was furious about this on Sunday, because it's the stupidest shit that we're getting the red cards for. Every single one of them is so unnecessary, and it's just discipline. It's all been 3 of them have been when we're losing. One of them's when we're drawing, having just conceded a 90th minute equaliser. It's because we lose our heads. It's like under 16s football, where you've got loads of shoppy kids, and every time you lose in a game, we feel like we've got to throw an elbow or commit a stupid foul or go in with a 2-footed tackle. You're never going to win. And now you've screwed your teammates over because they're playing the rest of the game with 10 men, and you've screwed. Well, not for the rest of the game only, but for the next 3. I mean, we're missing Junior for 3 games. A little bit of sympathy for him because it was a bit soft, but still, why give the ref the option? David's, I've got the most sympathy, but still not a lot because maybe he just forgot he'd been booked in the first place. I mean, Jake and Eden are just ridiculous. I mean, they've both been good, very good overall since Aggie came in. Which is why we need Jake on the pitch. Why on earth is he committing that foul? Like, you're 3-0 down, you're never getting anywhere near the ball. It's so obvious. Like, anyone can see that's a penalty. I mean, I didn't see it at the time because I was having a piss, and I think I was the only person in the ground that didn't see it. I mean, everyone that wasn't in the urinals had a clear view of it. Whether he's got sent off for the foul or dissent, it's stupid either way. And there's just no need for it. Like, it's just a head loss tackle. It's a discipline problem. And I read through the thread on the Planet about the penalties we're giving away. Discipline. That none of them are. We've had one unlucky one I can think of, which was at Woking, where the fella took a dive over Charlie Bell. The vast majority of the rest of them are just doing stupid shit. It's like there's a corner comes in and someone's lost his man, so he just thinks, "Fuck it, I'll bring him down." Like, stay with your man, mark your man. If you lose him, that's on you. Don't lose your head and make it worse. And the 2, Wilton and Hersham, the 2 penalties, what on earth are we doing? It's not even like the first one, it's not even in shot. If you watch the video, why is he getting involved in a wrestling match there? What good is that going to, what's it going to achieve? Brainless. It's absolutely brainless. And the frustrating thing about it is it's not from us not being a good team, and it's not from us not having good players. It's just doing stupid shit. And now we've lost Eden for 3 games. We've lost Jake for 1. We've lost Junior for 3. David for 1. How many is it? Yeah, it's killing us. Absolutely killing us, and it's so unnecessary. It's so unnecessary. It should be an easy fix, but here we are on the 22nd of December, and we've not got any better. If anything, it's worse. So if I was Chris Agata, I'd be reading an absolute riot act to all 4 of those players after the game. Like, we need to be better if you're a professional footballer, especially the experienced players. And that's not just to dig them out, because I think Junior's been a success story of the season, realistically. David's been brilliant. And I think Jake's made a massive difference since he's come in. But you cannot be doing stuff like that. And it's causing massive problems. It needs to stop.
Do you agree, Nick? I mean, one little thing I won't agree with, it's not just the 4 players you need to be drilling it into, it's everyone else as well, to make sure no one else falls foul of it. Yeah. But do you agree with Johnny? Is it a problem, or do you think we've been unlucky? I mean, there were some comments of, "Oh, the referee doesn't like us. All refs hate us." But what's your thoughts, Nick?
No, I think I mean I agree with everything that was just said. I mean, it's funny. I was watching just the other day, like a thing on Amazon. It was one of these Amazon fly on the wall documentaries. The Spanish team at Euro 2024, and Luis de la Fuente, the coach, he actually says to them as they leave in the dressing room, 11 go out, 11 come back in, and it basically don't do anything stupid because, like has just been said, you're just basically gifting the team, the opposition, an opportunity, and that can dictate the game. I think of the 4 red cards, I've some sympathy with David Ogbonna. It's a stupid rule, but then again, it's a stupid rule, but that's the rule. I think you could maybe look at that either way. Sympathy with Junior because the guy made the most of it. Again, the rule's the rule. As for yesterday's one, I mean, I don't know what the referee was supposed to do. I mean, had the referee got a yellow card out for that, I think that the Solihull players probably would have been up in arms themselves, saying, you know, what you doing? I mean, that was a red card. I think there was some discussion as to whether it was a red. And I thought, well, he's gone through the back of a player. You know, I think 2 feet were off the ground. I mean, that's serious, dangerous play. I mean, my question there is it? My wonder there is there a board that looks at that and says that is serious, dangerous play, and that it can actually get extended, but I'm not sure about that one, but so 3 games we might be lucky with that one. I can't remember the last time that we had an opposition, that we played a team when the opposition lost a player. I mean, I don't have anything in recent memory, certainly from this season, unless I'm missing something.
Shrewsbury's the only one.
Oh, sorry, yeah, league game.
A couple of years though, but that's the only one in the last 2 seasons. Nothing last season at all.
So why are other teams able to keep their heads in a way that we don't see? Is it the sort of intensity? I mean, because look, there has been an uptick in the intent. You can see the play has improved, and there's an uptick in the intensity. I think that the training sessions are probably a lot more intense. I think Osman Foyo, did you say that? He went to one of our training sessions. He was like taken aback by how intense it is. So, is the intensity level such that some players it's getting to them and they're doing rash things? That's the only thing I could come up with to explain 4 red cards in 3 games. So, but yeah, it's a serious thing, and the more that it happens, the more inclined referees will say, "Well, I'm playing a dirty team. Well, this is a dirty team. They've got previous, therefore that's going to condition the split-second decision that I'm going to have to make here." So. Yeah, it's. I think that's probably what Aggie was referring to in his post-match interview yesterday. That he went in and he sounded like he gave the players a right bollocking, basically, and it's probably over the discipline issue, which is so. Yeah, you know, guys, keep your heads. Come on, you know.
I agree. There will certainly be a reputation thing. Because we had that for years with Eastie, and that season with Harry Smith as well. He's literally, they were getting booked for just the name being on the team sheet almost at some points. But I mean, it's how do you solve it? I mean, you don't want them suddenly all being angels, but they do need to find that line. I mean, there was no doubt that was the textbook red card. As soon as I saw it first time, I was like, he's gone. And the only doubt that came to mind is it was taking a long time for the referee to decide. I was like thinking, well, maybe we'll get away with that, but I definitely thought it was a red. I don't think he meant to injure him or anything like that, but it was a definite red based on the laws. But added to that, we also, Hayden came off for injury. I haven't actually heard any more since. I don't know what his status is, but we ended up with a very, very, very makeshift back line. Nick, I'll get Johnny to draw his breath because I know he's got thoughts on this one as well. But Nick, what do you think about the squad depth that we've got now? I know Aggie was very keen to say, look, our squad is way too big. We need to move people on. But suddenly with these suspensions and injuries, is it looking a bit thin back there?
Oh, undoubtedly. I mean, the one player that we haven't mentioned so far that I'm wondering whether he can do a job at right back is Edwino Vaz. I think he came on yesterday. He might just have to do a shift there. because I wasn't very impressed with the lad that's been brought in from Huddersfield. I don't think he might have been a bit exposed for their first goal, but towards the end of the game, he was just getting turned inside out at every opportunity, at every turn. So it might need a midfield player where we've got slightly more bodies to come in defence and do a job there. Jake Taylor might be required to help out in defence. We'll see. I mean, he seems like quite a versatile sort of player, so I dare say that he can probably slot in there. But it's going to have to be the academy, and it's going to have to be one or two that come in from the academy probably. Just on squad depth, on the issue of squad depth, those loaning out of Mo Dabra and also Dylan De Silva now is looking. I mean, hindsight is a wonderful thing. But it is now looking a little bit regretful that we don't have those two to fall back on in some depth. I mean, Mo Dabra would slot in very nicely if Jake Taylor can go into the defence. Then his position could be covered by Mo. So we'll see. I mean, look, the only consolation is I'm thinking that we've got an injury crisis at the moment. Other teams, I think, probably have similar, probably not to the same extent that we have, but we are at that stage of the season where squads are starting to, through injuries or through suspensions, squads are starting to get strained. So this is almost a natural stage of the season that we're going through. So that's some consolation at least.
And Johnny, I know you mentioned this the other day as well.
Yeah, well, it's more of a suspension than an injury problem, really, but which is completely our own fault. But yeah, like the squad, it's definitely an issue. I definitely think we need a few more because every season we have a situation like this where we're short. Every club has it. I think Aggie's done a great job overall. Like, don't get me wrong, but there's a few things he's done I disagree with. The small squad policy is one of them. It's just a bit idealistic. It's not. I don't think you're ever really going to get a situation. It never seems like this at Sutton anyway, where we have our best 11 available every week. It just doesn't happen. Like, you look at the bench we had yesterday. We've got a couple of academy lads. We named, I think, Jack Taylor and Njoku who weren't fit, or they would have played undoubtedly. So we've only really named a bench of 4 players. One of them's a goalkeeper. It's a problem. We've been told that the data model we use for recruitment means that we have a kind of short list of players available at any time. Might be a good time to put that into practice. But yeah, the trouble we've had is if we suddenly get short players and we've had to bring in Mauricio and Radari, and it feels almost like I'm sure we've vetted them properly and we've worked out that they'll fit in this side of play. But it does feel a little bit like a panic signing. We've got Junior Eccleston out for 3 games. We need to bring someone in. It would have been better to have had someone, even the same player. For example, Mauricio come in a couple of months ago. And he's training with the team and he's playing games off the bench and he knows the style of play, rather than just trying to bring him in on you were saying, Nick, bring him in on a Friday, play him on a Sunday. I felt a bit sorry for him. He didn't have a good game, but it's tough. You've just been plucked out for your first game in senior men's football. 90 minutes, it's on the telly. The fella they had on the left wing was a good player, to be fair to him. So it wasn't easy for him. And I think we could have just made the situation a bit easier by having someone, a backup in that position. I mean, we didn't seem to have a backup right wing back. I don't think he trusts Aaron Jones there. He sees him more of a centre back of the 3 because of I don't think Jonesy's really got enough going forward, I think, is the issue with Jones. So if we don't think Jones is going to play there, we need to have a backup option. You can't have one player in a position. I think we have a similar problem in midfield, and I think we have a similar problem certainly now at centre back. I think we're short at centre back since we let Harry Phipps go. So I think we really need to look at the holders of the purse strings. I guess we'll need to look at spending a bit if we want to keep our heads above water and avoid that relegation battle. Because I mean, I'm looking at the team for Boxing Day and thinking, who on earth is going to play? Do we even have 11 fit players? It's a real struggle, and I think we're going to have to change the system, because I don't think we have 5 defenders to play a back 5. It's simple as that.
I mean, 4-1 wasn't great, but it could have been more. You already mentioned him, Johnny. Jack Sims pulled out a couple of great saves.
Yeah.
I mean, how's his form been, especially since coming back? How important is to have him playing for the style of play that we want to play?
Yeah, well, he's getting a lot of practice, isn't he? I mean, I thought he was our best player by a mile yesterday, which it tells you all you need to know. I mean, it could have been 7 or 8 quite easily just in the second half without him. Yeah, he's probably one of the best keepers in the league. Very lucky to have him. I don't think we can really say a bad word about him. He's good with his feet. He commands his area. He's an excellent shot stopper. One of the real positives at the minute. So yeah, great to have him back, available every week. Yeah, just got to hope he stays fit, because again, like yeah, a crucial part of the side. But yeah, no, like 4-1 flattered us, to be honest. I mean, the second half was that bad, and he made a few good saves in the first half as well, to be honest. So yeah, like lucky we had him on form yesterday, or things could have got really ugly, unfortunately.
So there's going to be a bunch of people disappointed you said 7 or 8 instead of saying 6-7, but never mind. Nick, what do you think about Simo? I mean, on the commentary, the guy said he must be injured because he hasn't kicked it long all game. I was like, well, he's not gonna anymore. That's just not how we're going to play. But what did you think of his yesterday and his form?
He's an excellent goalkeeper. I mean, his touch and his passing and his vision to see players. I mean, it is like effectively having almost half an outfield player added to the 10 that are already there. He's got that sort of style to him. I think I wasn't altogether impressed with Tommy Reed. I thought that he had an error in him, and he clearly wasn't as good with the ball at his feet as Jack clearly is. I hope, sincerely, I mean, we say this often. I seem to say this every time I come on, that I just hope that nobody comes in for Jack Sims over the transfer window, and that we can keep hold of him, because he's a vital player. And I hope that we don't start talking about relegation again. But if we do get dragged into a relegation battle, goal difference is always something that is going to matter. In fact, goal difference, even if playoffs are still on, goal difference will matter there. It could have been, there you go, 6 or 7, but yesterday. But he did pull out like really good stops, and was at full stretch. So yeah, let's hope he can stay fit. I mean, a good goalkeeper is the bedrock and the foundation of a really good team. Because they're literally the last line of defense, and if you've got a shaky goalkeeper, that tends to go through the whole team.
Yep.
If you've got a security in goal, it does give assurance to the rest of the team. So that's hugely important that he's there and that he's between the sticks. Yeah, but yeah, he was really good. He's it's funny to say that about somebody that when the scoreline is 4-1, but yeah, I was impressed with him.
I hear what you're saying about the worrying about someone's coming in with him, but with his terrible ankles and his injuries, I'm sure that no one's going to come in. Nick, we had a fantastic November, unbeaten. December hasn't got started really. Do you think, as a lot of people have been saying, we're going backwards, or do you think this is still a blip, that a couple of things just need ironing out? Because it is, obviously the cups are disappointing, but it is only one league performance that we've played badly in. Do you think it's a blip, or do you think this is something a bit deeper that we need to worry about?
Oh, I'm not concerned. I mean, the team performance, the quality of the play has visibly improved since Aggie took over. I wasn't at I didn't see the Walton game, so and I think that a lot of the players then were still sort of on a downer from the weekend before. The Shrewsbury game, okay, that's already been gone over and everything, but I think the performances are there. My goal is that the December month, I think I said ideally we want to get 5 points from December. Okay, so we can't get 5, could get 6. That means winning away at Southend and winning home to Aldershot. it's weird to be saying this kind of thing in December, but that Aldershot game does feel like, given where they are in the league and where we are, it does feel like a sort of must win to avoid getting dragged back into the relegation battle. That we thought that we kind of, I think that we kind of got a little bit euphoric with the November performance. I think that there was a little bit getting carried away with ourselves over that. And, you know, given our league position, the fact that we were still like 3 or 4 points above the drop zone, I thought that we should have been a little bit more cautious about that. I'm still confident that we can do it, but it is going to now take a sort of psychological, something's going to have to happen psychologically to stop some sort of a slide going on now, because this is going to hurt, you know, losing 4-1 away. I think it is going to hurt. And so something has to happen to sort of to make sure that it doesn't become longer term.
Yep. Johnny, what about yourself? Do you think it is a blip? I mean, Nick mentioned the league table. For a very short period yesterday, we were 16th, and very, very short period. But do you feel that, okay, it's one game, move on to the next one, or have you got a bit of more longer term worries?
I agree with Nick that we've definitely improved noticeably since Aggie came in. So we're a much better side than we were. I mean, we were looking pretty desperate when he came in. To be honest, we were awful. We're massively improved. It's not to say that we don't have problems still. I think I've probably said my piece on those. Squad depth, discipline, the tendency to collapse, which I think is linked to discipline and Plan B. So that we've got things to address. But when we're at our best, we are a lot better than the sides below us. I mean, you could see in the Gateshead game, for example, we're a much better team than them. Famous last words, obviously. So you might have to edit this out come May. But we do look at technically better sides. I think we're causing ourselves problems. If we can get over that habit, we should be fine. But listen, we are in a relegation battle. You can't deny it. We're 2 points above the relegation zone at Christmas. Like that's the reality. There's a lot of teams in that relegation battle. I think we could, if we won our game in hand, we could go up to 16th, 15th, 16th. So it's not just us. There's a lot of teams down the bottom, and we've got to make sure we're one of the best ones at the end of the season. Like I think we should be good enough to not go down if we play at our full potential. But that's the issue, isn't it? Because we showed it in November. We've not showed it in December. Clearly, it's there from the performances we gave in November. Just need to find it again, and whether that's just keeping our heads better. I think bringing a couple of players in, whatever it is, just need to find that consistency and be at that level for the rest of the season.
Okay, well, very, very quick chat. I know Nick said something already about the Aldershot game, but how are you looking forward to the Boxing Day game? Are you worried as you're in of who we're going to put out, or are you just like, you know what, we're back at home, everything's going to be fine?
Yeah, I'm dreading it. Just based off the availability. Listen, if we had a full strength team, I'd be quite confident. I genuinely don't know who we're going to play as a back 5 or 4, because I don't think we have 5 fit defenders. You could maybe go Jake Taylor. I mean, Will Tizard was holding his arm at the end. I don't even know if he's fit. Assuming he is, you maybe go Jake Taylor, Tizard, Jones at centre back, Mauricio at right back, Vaz at left back. But that's a stretch. Do you go 4 at the back? Tizard, Jones, Mauricio right back, Vaz left back, something like that. Jake Taylor in midfield. I don't know. It's going to be really difficult. They're on the up. They've improved. They're going to be looking at this, licking their lips, thinking this is 3 points, and all of a sudden, you know, it's like us. We won 3 games in a row, moved from well inside the relegation zone to out of it. They've won 2. They were looking, you know, some of their fans would have been saying they looked dead and buried 2 weeks ago. They could be out of the relegation zone by the end of Boxing Day. So they're going to be looking at it and seeing an opportunity. We've just got to be up for it. And I think hopefully they get ahead of themselves. We can start the game well, get at them, don't do anything stupid, crucially. Listen, we still have a very good team. We'll still be very strong going forward, I'm sure. So it might be high scoring, but yeah, like I think it'll be close either way. But it's the thing that worries me is that defence. We just don't seem to have any fit and non-suspended defenders at the minute. So yeah, that's the concern for me.
Maybe we just go all out attack, play one at the back, and get everyone up front.
We might to.
Just worryingly looking at the league table, I think a 1-0 defeat would actually put Aldershot ahead of us. So because they're on -11, we're on -9 goal difference, so that would make us 10-10, and they've scored 3 more goals than us at the moment. So yeah, I'm not happy I looked at that. But Nick, oh Johnny, sorry, give us a prediction.
I'll go with a 3-2 win. I reckon we'll score goals, but yeah, like I say there'll be goals in it. I wouldn't it'll be 0-0 draw. I said that, but yeah, it'll be entertaining, high scoring, hopefully a big crowd. Don't worry about the league table yet. By the way, if they go ahead of us, like it's where they are in April. So like, I'm not worried about whether we're going to finish the day in a relegation zone if we can string 4 wins together afterwards. But yeah, we're in a tough place at the minute with the squad, but hopefully get a few players back a couple of weeks, and hopefully we can pick up wins in between. Southend will be pressure on them, for example. So I say I'm dreading it. I'm a bit tongue in cheek. Like it's going to be tough, but it's a long way to go. So no panic from me.
Excellent. And Nick, how do you see the game going?
They're having a very good December. I think they've come off the back of 2 wins, haven't they? I mean, the win at Boston, they got 10, but Boston's home form has been really shit this year. They lost 4-0 to Morecambe. But they've got their tails up. Yeah, just second what Johnny said. I mean, I'm just looking at yesterday's lineup and the fact that we've got notable absentees, but our midfield is going to have Lewis Simper, Jaden Harris, David Ogbonna, Kai Jennings, Charlie Bell, possibly Brandon and Joku up front. We'll see. I mean, he's got 5 days. He could recover, and we could. So that is a very, very strong forward line, and to the point that they'll probably be able to score goals. I think there's so many goals there. I think that the likely result is probably a draw, a draw with goals. Which I think, given yesterday, I think I'd probably take at this stage, just to sort of, to steady the ship a little bit and get a few players back and through suspension a little bit further. But I wouldn't be surprised if we were to win because like I say, you got to look at the lineup and say that's, we are a good team. We're at home. It's almost okay. Fine, the home team is expected to win, but. There'll be expectation on them as well from their fans to keep the run going and to take points off of a team that's having a terrible month. So I think I don't think it's as it's to be dreaded as one might think. And I think we could win it. I think we could do it, and I wouldn't be surprised if that's the case.
I'll ask for a prediction. Now you're top of the prediction league, so I'll make it clear this you're not limited to this prediction. I haven't actually updated it for yesterday's, but you're like 5 points ahead. So unless someone's predicted a 4-1 loss, it's pretty unlikely. So an early prediction, but this doesn't limit you.
I'll go 2-2.
2-2. Okay. Yeah. Well, AI, which I'm pretty convinced is just looking at who scored our last goal by now, is saying that Will Tizard will score in a 1-1 draw. I'm going full mental, and I'm going to go David's going to score first in a 5-1 win because we're going to suddenly snap out of it. We're going to be full of Christmas joy and spirit, and we're going to get everything right. That's it. You heard it here first every week, but hopefully we'll get that win. Well, we're going to wrap up this episode of Sutton Podcast. We appreciate everyone's attention and feedback. So get involved. Let us know what you think. Share, like, comment, follow at Sutton Podcast across all socials. Big thank you to our sponsors, Lucky Star Gin. Very big thanks to Nick and to Johnny for joining us because they answered the call yesterday. Was it yesterday or Saturday? I can't remember. I think it was Saturday, actually. But thank you very much, gents. And take care, everyone. We'll catch up soon. Bye-bye.
United!